Hi, come along and join me as I look through my tarot collection. I need to sort some cupboards out, so we may as well explore them together. So what are you waiting for? Let's go and talk tarot. Hello everybody, how are you all? Today I'm going to be doing part one of my tarot collection, and I'm looking forward to actually delving back into my cupboards because, do you know, I even sometimes think that we have a little, we have so many decks that I forget what they look like, which isn't a good thing really, because as it happens, my collection is spread over two parts of the house. Some here downstairs where I do readings for people here, and then upstairs in my craft and art room. It's also my own personal meditation room and reading room, and it's sort of, because it's split up and all over the house, I thought, right, I'm going to do this in two parts. What I have downstairs, because I do rotate the decks from that are down here with some upstairs, and I thought, right, I'm going to get out my decks and just make a video on them. So I'm going to switch cameras and just take you over there, because behind my chair I've covered the sofa with the decks that are in the press, and just show you my little area there. And I just want to apologise about this mess on my face. The masks, the face masks that we currently have to wear are affecting my skin terribly, so I'm having to treat it with sort of alcohol swabs and what have you, because my face is in a bit of a bad way at the moment. So enough of me and my face, let's get on with having a look at some of the decks. So welcome to the sunroom of my home, and here you will see I've taken the tarot decks out of the press there, because I'm just sorting up there, as you can see, sorting out books and tarot decks there. That's where I tend to do some of my, oops, I'm making it blurred, sorry, tend to do some of my readings from over there when I'm reading for myself. And here are some of the decks that I own, and the rest are all upstairs. So as you can see, I've got a pile here that are oracle decks. We have my most recent acquisition, which is the Mildred Payne's Secret Pocket Oracle, and along with the Secret Pocket Oracle Seance Edition. Do you know, I've been struggling to get to grips with the Deviant Moon Tarot. However, since owning these, I'm actually starting to really enjoy it. So I've been playing around with it a lot. And I also have the large Deviant Moon book, which I've been slowly getting through. So that tarot deck at the back there, the Easy Tarot, has a Ciro Marchetti deck inside it, and one of my sons bought me that one Christmas, saying, right, well, he didn't know what to get me, so he chose that for me, bless him. And I'm glad he did. It's a lovely little deck. Inside this tarot box here, I have my Dark Mansion deck. That's the everyday one. I do have the larger one that I don't tend to read a lot with, because I did buy that for collector's purposes, and as I do like to collect decks for collecting purpose or historical purpose, because I just like them, and I like to have an everyday version of this. And I have a little stone in there of this box too, and this is one of the first, that's the first edition when the deck first came out. I have my John Bower inside here, and that's my Peggy bag that came the other day, and my Peggy reading cloth is inside it. The Gaian Tarot, my giant RWS, which I use when I'm teaching tarot, and my Radiant Wise Spirit. Now the Radiant Wise Spirit, I actually used the mini version of that to make my tarot tiles. Now if you haven't seen the video on the tarot tiles, you'll see it when I do part 2 of my tarot collection. As you can see, the Cosmovisions, the Modern Witch. In the soapstone box over here, I have my Faithful Morgan Greer. In the wooden box, I have my Tarot Illuminati, and I have heard that referred to as eye vomit because of the amount of colour and design in it. But to be perfectly honest with you, it's something I really love. I have really gelled with that deck, and I would actually say between that and this Bright Future here, those two are decks I would actually say are soul decks of mine. In the tin, I have the RWS 2.0, and I really do love that. And my Crackleback RWS is in there. Now, the Stardust, that one there, although I've got it here with tarot cards, that's actually a set of tarot dice. Those are the tarot cards that go with it, and I have the mini deck for that here. And when I say minimalist, it really is minimalist. If I just take one of the cards out, whoops, hold on a sec, let's just, see, that's, there you go, that's one, that's the Two of Wands, okay. No, it's Two of Wands, yes, it is. And this here, you've got the King of Pentacles. So it really is minimalist. It's not lying when it says that. I'm just trying to find one of the major arcana. See if I can do that all one-handed whilst I hold my phone. Give me a major arcana, please. Right, I can't find one just now, but this deck I have done a walkthrough. Oh, this because there's loads more in the bottom of the box. I have done a walkthrough of this deck along with the tarot cards and along with the dice. So the Fool is, they're all sort of symbols as opposed to images, you know, people, things. There you go, the Magician, the High Priestess. Just a symbol from each one has been taken and used within the deck. It's quite different. Murder of Crows is one that I was drawn to when I saw it on a shelf in a shop local to us, and it's quite a dark deck, one that I think would be good for shadow work. And again, this might hurt. Blood, Bread and Roses Tarot. I was really drawn to the backs of those, but the deck itself is, I don't think it's my style. I don't know whether I'm going to keep that or pass it on. I'm still deciding about that. I love the Lonely Dreamer Tarot. The Triple Goddess Tarot is lovely, and I'm certainly getting to grips with the Deviant Moon. The Tarot of Crowley is a very interesting deck, and it's created by Christoph James, and you find Christoph James sort of is very active on the Hermit Cave page, which is, it's lovely to see because he's now making that deck in colour, but the colours used really do the cards justice. It's almost like looking at old photographs, and I don't know if you recall, old photographs used to be coloured in, and it sort of gives you that impression, and it's really lovely. That's my first Baba Studios deck. I have another one on order, and that's the Fantastic Menagerie. I really do like that. That's one of my all-time favourites. And the Phylarchos Tarot. Now, the Phylarchos Tarot has so much symbolism in it. It's unbelievable. And let me see. In this pouch, I keep my Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. Witch's Wisdom is great. And what I like about the Shadowland Tarot is I think it's a beautiful deck, but I love going onto Monica Bordowski's page and doing the activities that she does with her deck that she created. It's lovely to see her actually using it. With the Crowley Tarot, I put a folder together, and I decided to try and get a little bit creative. And this I used like plaster that you'd get on a wall on here, and painted it so that it's like ivy coming down an old building, and like plaster peeling off with brickwork coming through, which, you know, is supposed to represent Crowley's old home. And if you open the doors, it's got the Tarot of Crowley by Christoph James in there, and you can see the ivies coming in through the wall. And then inside we have the PDF. So it's got each card, an image of each card, and all the notes to go with it. The Kabbalistic Tarot is very different as well. I have a walkthrough of that on my channel if you want to have a look at it. And then here we have my Oracle cards. Let's have a look. Like I say, this is my most recent acquisition, which is the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle, along with this the Seance Edition, Deluxe Edition. I enjoy these tiny little ones here. That's the Crystal Ball Oracle, Pocket Oracle, and the Witch's Familiar Runic Oracle. This is a very recent acquisition as well, and it's quite different. There you go. Make believe. So it's just an oracle deck, and it's really going to be used intuitively, but I'm looking for more information on that. It doesn't come with a booklet. The Mystic Sisters oracle deck, the Sacred Traveller, and the where's the other deck? Oh, here it is under here. Nature's Whispers. Now, Nature's Whispers is one I use very regularly. I just find it very user friendly, quite gentle if you want to get a message across, and there's so much you can get out of the images. I love the images on that. You can actually get lost in them. They're brilliant. Now, this deck here, Mediumship Training Deck. I had seen this. Where had I seen this? Somebody had a copy of this here in my town, and I had seen it, but I wouldn't have actually said that it would be great for, you know, mediumship training. I purchased this because I actually love the images, and they're images that I would meditate with. I wouldn't necessarily consider it a mediumship training deck. And this is where I would read for myself. I liked my candles either side, and I have my Moroccan lamp lit as well. These brass teapots here, I keep there. People might say, oh, what are they there for? They used to belong to my grandmother, and I love them. So I was very lucky that my dad, before he passed away, gave them to me. And I also have two small vases of hers that when my roses in my gardens blossom, I put a single rose into each vase and I put them next to my dad's photograph because he used to love roses. And this is an old lighter I found in an antique shop, and my son restored it for me, and it works nicely for lighting my candles. And if I can't light it, then I use my, this should actually be in my craft room, because I use this when I'm working with resin to burn out bubbles. So this is my little working area for my tarot downstairs. And I hope you don't mind me sharing it with you. In there I have my incenses and all my oils, and a couple of little vintage cars there that we didn't know what to do with, so I put them in there for now until I need the space for more decks. So let's get back to the desktop. So that's my downstairs collection. Like I say, I do rotate the decks around so that from time to time I cart decks upstairs and bring decks downstairs. I really do need to find a more efficient way, like having all my decks down here. But I would need to replan out this room, and I'll get round to it at some point. Now, there's one thing I think I do need to justify why I said something. I pointed out this deck, okay, and it's a beautiful deck. I have to admit, it is beautiful. Now, we're just going to have a quick look through this. It's the Mediumship Training Deck. I straight away have an issue with it being termed a mediumship training deck, because I feel it doesn't necessarily train you to become a medium. What I do find is that it is a fantastic tool to help you relax your mind, to give you images that you can step into, and there are little sayings on the cards that you can sort of work on to create a better outlook, a better feel, and a better view of life in a way, because they're very positive sayings. So if you're feeling low, there's always something positive in this deck to see. So it says here, 50 practical tools for developing your connection to the other side. It's by John Holland and Lauren Rainbow. Like I say, I saw this deck in somebody else's home, had a look through it, and felt I love that, because I would use it for something not trained to become a medium, but giving me a focus when I've got that sort of a monkey brain, so to speak, you know, when you're trying to relax and calm down, or if you're trying to stop your mind going and going, because some people can find it quite difficult to meditate, in the sense that they're distracted by thoughts that run through their head, or they might struggle to envisage a scene. So I think, you know, because, you know, different people have different ways of managing, and I have met people over the last couple of years that can't, when you're sort of orally giving a meditation, people can find it very difficult to focus. So if you are taking a meditation group and you find that there is somebody there that does struggle a little with that ability, then what I would recommend you do is look at the theme of your meditation, find a card that fits and give it to the person that struggles, so that they can look at that picture. They don't necessarily have to meditate with their eyes closed. They can just take themselves and step into this, because that's giving them an image to boost that sort of imagination, okay, to boost their sort of mental visualizations, because it's not an easy task for everybody. So let's have a look at what it says about this deck. It states, this is an extraordinary educational deck. This extraordinary educational deck was created by psychic mediums John Holland and Lauren Rainbow to assist you in the development and the unfoldment of your psychic mediumship potential. In these 50 beautifully designed cards, John and Laura impart techniques and lessons they have used for themselves and have taught in their workshops. Topics include auras, spiritual energy centers, mind focus, meditation, imagery, and imagination, and more. Everyone from the beginner student to the experienced psychic can use these cards to enhance and strengthen their mediumship abilities and establish a stronger link between this world and the spirit realm. We have a sort of fold out card, and in here it tells that mediumship isn't just about connecting to the spirit world, it is just as much about helping and healing the living, which I would agree. I have a friend who is a fantastic medium, and I found that she helped to heal me when I lost my dad. And she, in all fairness to her, she would not read for me when I requested it. She said, no, let your dad have some time. Let him get used to being where he is. And when she said, you know, we sat down and I said to her, look, I want to, what we often do, we'll do a skill share. She'll do mediumship for me and I'll read tarot for herself. And when she felt it was ready, she said to me, why do you keep asking your dad if he's with you? Now, she didn't know what I was asking. Why do you keep asking him, was he proud of you? Why do you keep asking him for his permission to do things? Because he's already said he's going to support you and he'll already be with you. Now, she didn't know any of this. And to impart that information on me, she also said to me, when you do a tarot reading, because I always do a meditation and prior to a reading, and unless of course I'm like reading for my friends and we're together and just, you know, card slinging together, but there was at one point she said, why do you, before you read cards for clients, why do you always ask him to be there and guide you? Because you don't need to ask him all the time, because he's with you all the time. And that went a long way to healing me as an individual at the loss of my dad. I also believe it made me stronger, and it also confirmed for me that, you know, we are an energy and we do go on to a bigger adventure, that this is not the end. And I must admit now, I am so much at peace that it's quite unbelievable. And I do have a medium to thank for that. So those words there are very, very true. So this goes on and tells you about the cards, okay, how to use this training deck. And it also gives you sort of words, sort of definitions. Spirit, what is a spirit, okay? So you've got spirit, when used with an uppercase S, it refers to God, the divine source, as well as the universe. So, okay. Then spirit, when used in lowercase, is meant to define as an individual who no longer has a physical body. This is the one who dwells in the spirit world. And so this word is meant to be used interchangeably with the word spirit for the purpose of this deck. Right, and it goes on to say a little bit more. And on the back it tells you about the authors and about the illustrator. And this was produced by Hay House. So that's what comes with that. Now you'll see what I mean by the cards. They're a lovely size. Now, there is information on the back, the power of prayer, moments of gratitude, psychic journaling. So it's got advice and notes on the back, okay, of each card. But when you look at these, they are beautiful, beautiful images. The cards are buttery smooth. So this one, you know, replenish your energy. And I find that, you know, when you are feeling tired, when you are feeling a little bit sort of, you know, you can look at something like this and you just sort of, you know, you don't have to be doing the whole type of thing. You just look, stare and relax and let your mind step into this image. Look around. Once you've got that image there, you can see the fields, you can see the sun, you can feel the little butterflies fluttering by, and you can go on and imagine seeing horses in the field, or, you know, corn, ears of corn growing further in the distance. Do you know that you can do so much with your imagination, but once you are given a starting point. So for somebody who struggles with imagination, they're fantastic for a starting point. Or if you're like me and you just want a moment to relax and you just think, what shall I do now? And you read through here, then you've got the Rose Meditation. And it has the meditation on the back. So the difficult thing for this would be, if you are giving this to somebody and you have the deck, if the person doesn't have their own deck, how are you going to read that if the person's holding the deck and taking themselves into the image, giving themselves, using this as a starting point to help their mind? So what do? You'd have to really probably photograph this, photocopy the back and create a notebook with it. There are partnership cards that go with this, clairvoyance and symbols. So although this says Rose Meditation, it would be different if it's just you using this personally on your own. But if you are guiding meditations, then you need to work out how you want to use this deck. I do find it beautiful. I have used this, but like I say, I have used it more so to take me into a meditation rather than focusing on training as a medium. So that is why I said that I wouldn't use it. I was not in any way sort of knocking the cards, because they are just stunningly beautiful. There's one here that I absolutely adore, and it's sitting in the power. You know, sitting in the power, learning to connect with the other side. And, you know, you can do that. You can sit, and when you have the ability to allow your mind, you can use something like this. And imagine that you're that person sitting there. And once you're focused, once you've got that image in your mind, then you can help your, you know, think, well, what would I want to see? Who would I want to talk to? And see what thoughts and everything comes your way, you know? And soul guidance. There we go. Soul guidance. Isn't that just beautiful? And I have this thing about butterflies. I love butterflies. I wanted a butterfly tattoo, but my daughter said, no, you're not having a butterfly tattoo. You've got so many tattoos. Think of something else. Soul connection. And this one is what I love looking at when I'm having my own little chat with my dad. I was very lucky when I returned back to Ireland after being over in Wales for my father's funeral. My friends took me out for lunch, and they presented me with a lovely pack where they had had a star named after my dad. So this means a lot to me. And I know I do go on about my dad a lot, but I loved him to bits, still do. Spirit communication process, and that will guide you how you do connect with spirit. But I do think it's a very personal thing, and it's not something that, you know, is to be taken lightly. I'm not saying that this does take it lightly at all. What I'm saying is I just find these cards really are fantastic for personal meditation. So that being said, I thought I would take my Deviant Moon out, and I did a little reading for filming the walk around my room. I decided to do a little reading for myself with the Deviant Moon, and do you know something? It's pretty darn apt. So, what do you say to me today?
I asked the devil with a sigh. Do you think the change you bring will make me want to cry? Yes, run away from me, you fiend, I am the Queen of Pentacles. The change you bring I will endure and escape your tentacles. I may seem down and feeling blue, sad and at times alone, but this is just a little blip because I'm supported here at home. I'll climb that ladder back to happiness, where friends and family will lend me an ear. I'll return to being that queen again, and yes, it's me you'll fear.
So, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this walkthrough. I hope you, not just the walkthrough there, I hope you've enjoyed joining me as I sort out my press over there. Press, by the way, sorry, we're here in Ireland. My cabinet, my bureau and cabinets either side. And it's actually looking a lot tidier. Take care. Look out for part 2 coming soon. That's going to be a task and a half. Oh, bye now.